A few days ago, Mahen came to Gao Tu with some exciting news. Our company is opening a branch in Yi City, he said, his eyes sparkling with excitement. And guess what? I'll be the business manager there. Gao Tu felt genuinely happy for his childhood friend. Mahen had always dreamed of the bright, bustling life in big cities. He wasn't one to settle in a small, quiet town. But now, here he was, choosing stability over adventure. Gao Tu couldn't help but wonder what had changed in him. Had Mahen finally seen the charm of their hometown? Or had the dazzling life of the city turned out to be nothing special after all? He didn't know for sure. But one thing Gao Tu was certain about. He respected Mahen's choices, and he wished him the best. Yet, having an overly enthusiastic neighbor like Mahen could also be inconvenient. Really, thank you, Brother Heng, Gao Tu said, trying to sound polite. I can take a taxi myself. You see, Mahen had bought 2 apartments right next to Gao Tu's. So when Mahen came back home for lunch that day, he ran into Gao Tu in the corridor and insisted on giving him a ride. It's not a big deal, Mahen said cheerfully. I'm already heading to work. You don't even know where I'm going, Gao Tu replied, trying to pull away. How can it be on your way? Besides, don't you start work at 1:30? It's only noon now. You shouldn't skip lunch. My destination isn't far, and the taxi fare is just the starting fee. Mahen chuckled and grabbed his arm, dragging him toward the elevator. That's perfect, Mahen said. I can just turn a corner and drop you off. Honestly, if you keep wasting time rejecting me, it'll take longer than the actual trip. Gao Tu sighed silently. He knew there was no convincing Mahen once he decided on something. The place Gao Tu needed to go wasn't far from Mahen's new apartment. Gao Ming, his father, had asked him to meet at a nearby cafe at 12:15. He had something for Gao Tu, and afterward, they were supposed to have lunch together. But Gao Tu had other plans. He intended to leave immediately after meeting his father. Eating together would only make him uncomfortable. No matter how delicious the food or how sentimental the moment, he couldn't swallow it. By the time Gao Tu arrived at the cafe, his father was already waiting. Gao Tu! Gao Ming exclaimed, moving forward to greet him. Gao Tu stiffened. It had been a long time since he'd seen his father, and he wasn't used to this overwhelming enthusiasm. He instinctively took a few steps back. Come in, Gao Ming said, putting an arm around his shoulders. This is my friend's shop. Don't worry, it's closed today. Gao Tu noticed the roller shutter was only half open. Something felt off. Almost immediately, he saw 3 unfamiliar men sitting inside. They smelled strongly of alphas. A wave of panic hit him, and he instinctively covered his nose. Something wrong? Gao Ming asked, his smile fading. Do you think alphas stink? Aren't you a beta? Why are you suddenly so sensitive? Gao Tu's heart pounded. 3 tall, strong alphas were surrounding him, and the mix of their pheromones made it almost suffocating. I'm fine, he stammered, stepping back. I just didn't expect this many people. Gao Ming ignored him and leaned closer. About that thing I wanted to give you, he started. Actually, I've changed my mind. Gao Tu froze. He didn't have time for games. There's something I want to confirm, Gao Ming continued. Why did you resign so suddenly? Why come back without a word? Before Gao Tu could answer, one of the alphas, heavily tattooed on his arms, interrupted. Old Gao, enough talking, he said. You owe us 300,000 yuan. Your son promised to pay it back. As soon as he shows up, the debt should be cleared, and this is him? He looks sick. You expect him to pay? Gao Tu felt his chest tighten. Pay off debt? What debt? He demanded. You said you quit gambling. You said you found a stable job and wanted a peaceful life. Do you really know your father? The tattooed alpha sneered. He's not exactly truthful. So, can you pay up or not? Gao Tu's blood boiled. After all the lies, all the empty promises, he couldn't hold back. I don't have any money, he shouted. Go ask whoever actually owes you. The tattooed alpha smile vanished, replaced by a cold glare. So you came all the way from Jianghu, just to leave empty-handed? Gao Tu clenched his fists. When you lend money, shouldn't you check first? Why lend to someone like him? The man with the tattoos laughed darkly. Oh, you know all this, huh? Then I can't just let you go so easily. Gao Tu's heart sank. He remembered stories of this infamous alpha, the one with flower tattoos on his arms. He wasn't just a loan shark. He was a known pervert in the circles he ran in. His methods of intimidation were outrageous, and his fetishes, even more dangerous. Gao Ming seemed unfazed by all this. But Gao Tu understood the gravity of the situation immediately. This tattooed alpha preferred tall and strong omegas. They were rare and highly sought after. Delicate omegas were everywhere, but tall, strong ones, hard to come by. That made Gao Tu a potential target. Many betas disguise themselves with pheromone perfume, pretending to be omegas to please this man, hoping for a huge payout. But Gao Tu wasn't pretending. He was real, and right now, he was very aware of his vulnerability. Are you listening to me? The tattooed alpha asked, leaning closer. Do you think you can just walk away? Gao Tu's mind raced. His father had dug him into this mess, and now he was facing a man who could easily overpower him. He needed a plan. But thinking was hard when the suffocating pheromones clouded his senses. He started, but the words caught in his throat. Fear was sharp, but so was anger. He had spent so long in isolation, fighting battles of his own, and now here he was confronted by alphas he didn't know. A father who had lied, and a man with a reputation that made everyone shiver. And yet, Gao Tu refused to be completely cornered. He straightened up, taking a deep breath to calm his racing heart. This isn't over, he said firmly, his voice stronger than he felt. I'm not your debtor, and you're breaking the law. Gambling, loan sharking, intimidating people. It's all illegal. The tattooed alpha laughed again, low and dark, shaking his head. So feisty. I like that in an omega, but don't think words can save you. Gao Tu's gaze didn't waver. He knew he was outmatched physically, but he had something they didn't, a mind that refused to give in. He would find a way out. Somehow, in that moment, he also noticed Mahen outside, smiling faintly in the distance. His friend was a reminder that there were people who genuinely cared for him, who supported him without hidden motives. And for that, Gao Tu felt a spark of courage. He couldn't rely on anyone else entirely, but he could rely on himself. Gao Ming frowned, sensing the shift in Gao Tu's demeanor. He opened his mouth to speak, but even he hesitated. His son was no longer just the quiet, submissive beta from before. There was a fire in him now. The tattooed alpha leaned in closer, sniffing the air like a predator, but Gao Tu held his ground. You can try to scare me all you want, Gao Tu said, but I won't be your pawn, and I won't let you control my life or my choices. The alpha's lips curled into a smirk, clearly intrigued by Gao Tu's defiance. This was no longer just a financial confrontation. It had become a battle of wills. And as he stared at the tattooed alpha, standing firm in the middle of the cafe, Gao Tu silently promised himself he would find a way out. He would protect his own life, his own freedom, and his own dignity. No matter how high the stakes, no matter how powerful the enemies, Gao Tu would not back down. And that, in the end, would make all the difference. If you enjoyed this episode of ABO Desire, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Comment below who you think will come out on top in this tense showdown, Gao Tu or the tattooed alpha. Share your thoughts and let's discuss.